While the Indiana Fever spent Monday locked in a 2-hour crisis meeting, airing grievances, peeling back layers, trying to figure out who they even are, Rhyne and the Atlanta Dream were watching from 600 miles south. The #1 seed in the East, the team Caitlin Clark's Fever upset in the playoffs last September, and Thursday night at Gainbridge, they get the rematch against a Fever team that's coming apart at the seams. Start with what Atlanta actually remembers, because they remember all of it. Last September, the Dream were the better team on paper, 30 wins, the 3 seed, a real contender. They even took the opener of that first-round series. Then it slipped. The Fever stole Game 2, then walked into Atlanta for the decider and ripped it away by 2 points, 87-85, after the Dream had led by 7 at the half. And here's the part that still has to burn in Atlanta. The team that bounced them was a 6 seed. Worse than that, Indiana did it without Caitlin Clark, who'd been ruled out for the rest of the season back in September. Sit with that. A 30-win #3 seed got knocked out by a hobbled 6 seed that didn't even have its superstar on the floor. Jordan Canada walked off that night and promised they'd be back. 8 months later, here's the back, and this time, Clark's playing. Understand who's walking into Gainbridge on Thursday, because this is no tune-up team. The Dream won 30 games last year, a franchise record. Alicia Gray finished 4th in MVP voting and made first-team All-WNBA, and she opened this season scoring like an MVP all over again. She's already hung 26 in a single night. Rhyne Howard, the #1 overall pick, an all-star, one of the meanest perimeter defenders in the league, runs the other wing. And the whole thing is built by Smesko, whose defense last season ranked 2nd in the entire WNBA, behind only the champion Lynx. That number isn't an accident. Atlanta led the league in defensive rebounding and choked off the easy stuff, surrendering the fewest points off turnovers and in transition of anybody. Their general manager, Dan Padover, won Executive of the Year for assembling it. This is a group engineered, top to bottom, to make a scorer's night miserable, and it's walking into a building where the home team can't agree on what defense it's even running. Now look at what's waiting for them. Indiana sits at 4-4, fresh off 2 straight losses out west, a 2-point heartbreaker at Golden State, then a 100-84 blowout in Portland that was over by the 3rd quarter. And on Monday, they locked the doors for a meeting that ran long enough to make national headlines. Sophie Cunningham let it slip to reporters, said it started with the coaches and turned into a players-only meeting. After Portland, that's not it, she put it. We can't be playing like that. We're too good. The kicker? Kelsey Mitchell didn't even know the press had found out. She opened her own interview asking, "How y'all know we had a meeting?" When your stars are surprised, the world knows about the emergency sit-down, and that sit-down ran 2 hours, 8 games into the year. The house isn't on fire next week. It's smoking right now. That's the team Atlanta gets, not the one that beat them in September, a team still hunting for itself in June. And here's the detail that should make every Fever fan wince. In that same session, Cunningham admitted the thing nobody wanted said out loud. Indiana is running exactly 1 defensive coverage right now because they can't execute the others yet. 1? She said they'd had something like 10 of them a year ago. And here's the cruel twist. Indiana's offense is just fine. They're one of the highest scoring teams in the whole league. The breakdown is entirely on the other end of the floor, which is precisely where Atlanta lives. So walk it forward. A team down to a single defensive look, hosting the league's 2nd-ranked defense on national television. Smesko's group has spent a full season learning how to take away a scorer's air. The Fever have spent a week learning how to run a single scheme. Gray will hunt the mismatch. Howard will sit in the passing lanes. And the moment Indiana's 1 coverage breaks, and against this offense it breaks, there's no second look to fall back on. That's not a matchup. That's a stress test. And Indiana's the one being tested. So where does that leave Caitlin Clark? Right in the middle of it, the way she always is. The whole reason Monday's meeting happened traces back to the sideline, a competitive flashpoint between Clark and Stephanie White against Portland that the whole sport spent a weekend pulling apart. Clark's spent her week doing damage control instead of game prep, telling the room she rides for her coach while the cameras hunt for cracks. Now she walks onto her own floor. Thursday, the brightest stage of the week, and the team built to take away exactly what she does best is staring back at her. And Howard specifically has never shied away from her. She's bodied Clark, fouled her, climbed right into her air the last time these two shared a floor. Thursday she gets to do it again with a whole scheme behind her. If the Fever can't get Clark help organized, she wears the whole thing alone, and that's the bind she's standing in. The better she plays Thursday, the more it papers over how fractured the room behind her really is. Carry the team, and she masks the problem the front office still hasn't fixed. Don't, and she loses to the best of the East on national television. There's no clean way out of that one for her. Give the veterans this much: they're not pretending. Kelsey Mitchell, who's pouring in better than 20 a night and playing some of the best basketball of her career, didn't dress it up when the meeting came out. "Hard times make you, or hard times can break you," she said. "And hopefully it don't break us." Then she said the quiet thing, that the team's culture is being tested to see whether they're actually who they claimed they'd be. Read that again. A leader on a title-hopeful roster in June, openly wondering out loud whether the thing breaks them. The honesty is admirable. It's also a flare shot straight up into the night sky, and Atlanta's the team that gets to answer it first. Here's what tilts Thursday before the ball even goes up. For Indiana, this is one more chance to figure themselves out. For Atlanta, it's personal. Smesko spent the entire offseason refusing to blow it up. He re-signed Gray, brought Howard back, held the core together, and told anyone who'd listen he wanted to run it back. He fought a brutal, compressed free agency window to do it, and spent the money anyway. You don't pay to keep a group together after a first-round flameout, unless that flameout is the exact thing keeping you up at night. One team's walking in trying to find an identity. The other walked off a floor 8 months ago, promised it would be back, and never stopped chewing on the identity it already has. So strip away the noise, the meeting, the spat, the leaked quotes, and Thursday narrows to one clean question. Can a team still arguing about who it is beat the best the East has on national television? And there's a trophy riding on the answer most people are forgetting. The Fever are the defending Commissioner's Cup champions, and this game counts toward defending it. Every cup result does. So the one trophy they actually hold is on the line Thursday against the team in the East built to take it. Contenders don't hold emergency meetings in early June. They don't show up to the league's second-best defense with one coverage in the bag. Atlanta isn't coming to Gainbridge to find itself. Atlanta already knows exactly what it is. And think about the asymmetry in that. The Dream have one job Thursday: win a basketball game. Indiana has to win a basketball game and keep a fracturing locker room from splitting open in front of a national audience at the same time. One of those jobs is a great deal heavier than the other. Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, national television, a rematch 8 months in the making. On one side, a dream team that re-signed its entire core for one reason: to walk back into Indiana and finish what the playoffs interrupted. On the other, a Fever team that spent this week behind closed doors for 2 hours trying to remember who it is, with Caitlin Clark in the middle holding it together by herself. Rhyne circled this one a long time ago. The only question left is whether a team this torn can stand up to a team that's spent 8 months sharpening for exactly this night, or whether Atlanta finally gets the answer it's been waiting on since September.